April 19th, 2023 started like any ordinary spring day in Hudson, Ohio. The sun rose quietly over the suburban streets, children rushed to schools, and families prepared for their routines. But as the day moved forward, something felt wrong in one home on that silent street. Dr. Todd Morgan, a respected assistant professor at Cleveland State University, had failed to pick up his daughter from school, something completely out of character for the devoted father of two. When police arrived for a welfare check, they could never have imagined the scene awaiting them.
Hi, I was wondering if I'd be able to request a wellness check on someone.
Okay, what's going on?
So my daughter was supposed to be picked up by her father today, and I got a call from the school that she was still at the school, so I ended up picking her up. They tried to contact him. I tried to call him a couple times and haven't received anything back.
And what's his name?
Todd Morgan.
Has he ever done anything like this?
No, I don't think he would forget his daughter from school, but we are going through some custody issues right now, which is why I find it to be a little bit more unusual.
When you call him, does it go straight to voicemail or does it ring?
It rings.
Inside his quiet home lay Todd Morgan, lifeless, brutally shot to death. The man who spent his life shaping young minds in the classroom had his own life stolen in the most unexpected way. As detectives stepped into the crime scene, they found bloody footprints leading away from his body. Footprints that would soon unravel a horrifying truth about trust, strangers, and the dangers lurking behind a simple online meeting.
Is he in the floor? Oh, shoot. You said you see blood? 110 radio. Come on. Go run back. Get EMS out here. Oh boy.
Today we're diving deep into the shocking murder of Dr. Todd Morgan, a crime that left an entire community reeling and a family destroyed. Who was the woman behind this gruesome act? Why did she do it? And how did investigators piece together the clues to catch her before she disappeared into the shadows? Dr. Todd Morgan was the kind of professor students never forgot. At just 41 years old, he had built an impressive career as an assistant professor at Cleveland State University's Monte Ahuja College of Business. His areas of expertise included supply chain management and strategic operations, and his research had been published in multiple academic journals, earning him quiet respect in his field. But beyond the accolades and publications, Todd was remembered for his gentle teaching style, his open-door policy for students needing guidance, and his ability to make even the most complex topics understandable. Raised in Ohio, Todd valued education from an early age. Friends from his childhood described him as disciplined and driven, the type of student who always went the extra mile. Those qualities continued into adulthood, shaping him into a mentor who believed knowledge was meant to be shared generously. Colleagues admired his collaborative nature, noting that he often volunteered for extra projects, not for recognition, but because he genuinely enjoyed seeing others succeed. Outside of work, Todd's greatest joy was his family. He was a devoted father to two children, both still in school, whom he described as his reason for everything. Neighbors often saw him walking them to the bus stop in the mornings, waving goodbye with a proud smile, and picking them up in the evenings before heading home to prepare dinner together. His life, though busy, was deeply grounded in routine, responsibility, and love. Despite a demanding career and parenting duties, Todd had been feeling lonely in recent years. Divorced and focusing heavily on his children and career, he hadn't pursued relationships seriously for some time. But by 2023, he decided it was time to seek companionship again. He turned to online dating apps, hoping to meet someone who shared his values and could bring warmth into his life. Friends said he was cautious about dating, often asking them for advice on profiles he encountered, and planning to meet only those he felt comfortable with. It was during this period that Todd began talking to Terayona Pascal, a 32-year-old woman whose online profile seemed kind and approachable. Their chats were casual at first, with typical small talk about careers, family, and hobbies. Over time, their conversations grew more frequent, with Paschal expressing a desire to meet him in person. Todd, ever careful, still felt slightly apprehensive, but decided to trust her, hoping this could be the start of something genuine. He arranged to meet her at his home on the morning of April 19th, planning a quiet day together. He informed no one of his plans, perhaps thinking it would be just another small step in building a new relationship. But behind her friendly texts and polite messages lay something far darker, a motive and mindset he could never have foreseen. The morning of April 19th seemed uneventful in the quiet Hudson neighborhood, but sometime after sunrise, neighbors heard what they described as loud pops, like fireworks echoing through the street. Most ignored it, assuming it was nothing sinister.
Within a couple
That
of
was
minutes.
what you heard. The
Two shots. I'm assuming. I don't know. And then I thought someone was banging on something, and then a little pause, and then four more.
Okay. You saw? Can you describe that car?
It was a smaller car, light colored, maybe a light blue, light gray. I couldn't get the make of it.
But inside Todd Morgan's home, horror was unfolding. Todd had invited Terriona Pascal over that morning. They had been talking online for a while and finally decided to meet in person. Todd believed this was the beginning of something meaningful. For Pascal, however, it was something far darker. At around 9 a.m., Ring camera footage captured her car pulling into Todd's driveway.
7, the car is there? Okay.
I don't know how to work this thing. But that,
Okay, so that's the car.
yeah, I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything from that or whatever.
Okay. I'll give this back to you. I'll go tell.
Okay, I'm not sure how to.
Yeah.
And then it jumps to 7:30 and it's gone.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
So what time is that? Right.
6:50.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 7, it's gone.
Yeah. Well, the next spot on here is
7:30.
so there's a gap.
Okay.
And then it's gone at 7:30.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Moments later, she walked up to the front door. Inside, no one knows exactly what was said between them. Perhaps small talk, nervous smiles, or uncomfortable silences filled the room. But soon, something triggered an eruption of violence. Gunshots rang out. Todd was shot multiple times in his own home, left to die alone as Pascal walked away. Blood pooled on the floor, and footsteps stained with it trailed behind her as she exited. She left him there lifeless and drove off without a hint of panic. Hours later, when Todd failed to pick up his daughter from school, staff grew worried. The reliable father never missed pickups. Calls went unanswered, and concern turned into fear. Police were sent to his home for a welfare check. They knocked, called out his name, and then forced entry.
2015 Porsche, black in color to Todd Morgan from that address. Valid native, has the CCW.
Is he in the floor? Oh, shoot. You said you see blood? 110 radio. Come on. Go run back. Get EMS out here. Oh boy. There's a lot of blood. Party looks to be, might have fell. Crap. Oh, it's open.
Inside, they were met with a scene of brutal finality. Todd's lifeless body, the smell of blood in the air, and silence echoing through the rooms he once filled with warmth. The crime was shocking not only for its brutality, but for its randomness. A first meeting with someone he barely knew ending in murder. Detectives knew from the start that whoever had done this had no intention of keeping Todd alive. Hudson police immediately secured the crime scene. Knowing time was critical, the bloody footprints exiting the home suggested haste, and nearby Ring cameras offered their first lead. Footage showed Pascal's car arriving and her walking in casually. Her exit, however, revealed a different scene. Quick steps, a shaken composure, and blood smeared on the porch and walkway.
I saw somebody come out of the house to the car that was next to the Porsche. They were in the car. I mean, it was there.
The Porsche?
No, it was next to the Porsche.
Okay.
And it was there when I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock, as I walked.
The car was already there.
The car was already there. The person was due, when I woke up.
Okay.
But at 7:15, 7:20, I heard. And then I saw someone come out of the house, go to the car, open up the car, was there for a while, and then took something back into the house, like a package or a box, it looked like.
Okay.
And then came back out, not running, but walking fast.
Quick paced?
Yes.
At what time was that?
It had to be 7:20.
At 7:20?
Yeah, it all happened within a couple
That
of
was
minutes.
when you heard the
two shots, I'm assuming,
Okay.
I don't know, and then I thought someone was banging on something, and then a little pause, and then four more.
Okay. Can you describe that car?
It was a smaller car, light colored, maybe a light blue, light gray. I couldn't get the make of it.
Do you happen to have cameras?
I checked my ring.
You didn't pick it up?
It didn't pick it. It didn't pick it up.
Okay.
Okay.
It was it like a 4-door or 2-door?
I couldn't tell.
Did you see the person that was driving?
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not see.
Detectives reviewed Todd's phone records. They found calls and messages exchanged with Teriona Pashal, a 32-year-old woman he had recently met online. But that wasn't the only clue. A Kilingsas to Senegi hang-up call had been placed from Todd's address that morning. It was brief, only seconds long, but enough to ping cell towers and identify its origin. Tracking the call led them straight to Pascal. Further investigation revealed she had searched for Todd's address and information online before the meeting, suggesting premeditation rather than a spontaneous act. Inside the crime scene, detectives collected DNA evidence, including cigars left behind. Lab analysis confirmed they belonged to Pascal.
Okay, so the morning of April 19th, here's what we have. We have this Cash App payment, right? I went through for $50. We have another Cash App payment that was 23 minutes later for $1,000. We have this vehicle leaving Todd Morgan's house at around 7:23 in the morning on April 19th. You said that's your car.
Mm-hmm.
Have your phone at 328 West Streetsboro Street on April 19th at 7 in the morning. Actually have your phone at that address after midnight on April 19th, which looks like it was there overnight. It's not possible. Your DNA is inside of that house. Black and Miles are inside of that house. The kind of shipments that are inside the house that match shoes that you're wearing in Facebook photos.
Her digital footprint sealed her fate. After the murder, she discarded Todd's phone along a highway to avoid detection. But even then, she couldn't resist checking news sites for updates and searching for ways to track police investigations, revealing her fear and anticipation of being caught. Detectives pieced together a timeline. Paschal arrived in the morning, stayed briefly, committed the murder, and fled. Her car's license plate captured on neighborhood cameras provided further evidence, and an arrest warrant was swiftly issued. Within days, police tracked her down and arrested her, charging her with aggravated murder with a firearm specification.
Okay. You ever been to Hudson before?
I don't recall.
Okay. What about around
I go
April 19th?
to a lot of places.
Okay. But you can't recall being in Hudson?
No.
Okay. So your phone, why would it dial 911 on April 19th? In the morning of April 19th around 7:22 in the morning.
My phone?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why my phone would call. I didn't call nobody.
You didn't call 911?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I don't know. Did they say I called? I didn't call.
Yeah, we got your phone number. And we attempted to call back that morning. We didn't get an answer. So here's what's interesting about these two photos. Right? Okay, these two photos were actually on your phone.
On my phone?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they went on my phone.
You actually typed in a search for this guy, and you viewed this image on your phone. You also did a search for 320 West Streetsville Street, and you viewed this image on your phone.
I don't
Carrie,
know.
we're giving you an opportunity here to talk to us. We need to know what happened.
Okay, and I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on. But what do you have? I don't know what's going on.
Who's that?
As the investigation concluded and all evidence was compiled, the legal proceedings against Teriana Paschal began swiftly. From the moment of her arrest, the weight of the evidence left little room for doubt.
We got a lot of information. We have DNA evidence, we have video, we have phone calls, we have Bumble chat messages. Okay, we have shell casings, we have shoe prints. We've got a lot of stuff that is a lot of good evidence here. Okay, this is your opportunity to talk to us about it. What's that?
I really don't know what you want me to say.
I want to know what happened. We want to know what happened. We have a lot of questions. We want to know what happened. So, Todd Morgan sends you $50 morning of April 18th.
I don't know.
Okay, but he did. So, what I want to ask you is, there was another payment. About 23 minutes later, there was a $1,000 payment that was sent from Todd Morgan to Black Beauty. And you confirm that Black Beauty, this Cash App is you. That's you, obviously, in that picture. So he sent you $1,000. Now, we go back to a $50 payment. You say, guys send you random $50 every now and then. Okay, you guys send you random $1,000 payments?
No.
Okay, so
it can happen.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Prosecutors charged her with aggravated murder with a firearm specification, a charge that, if fully pursued at trial, could carry life without parole. During pretrial hearings, Paschal appeared quiet and subdued, her demeanor starkly different from the woman who walked so confidently into Todd Morgan's home that morning. Her defense attorneys initially attempted to argue for diminished responsibility, hinting at possible mental health issues and suggesting that her actions were not entirely planned. However, prosecutors countered with overwhelming evidence of premeditation. Her prior online searches for Todd's address, the Ring camera footage showing her arriving and leaving calmly, and her DNA found on cigars at the scene. Adding to the case's strength was her digital footprint after the murder. For days, Paschal had searched online news sites and police tracking methods, curious to see if she had been identified as a suspect. Prosecutors painted this as the behavior of someone who knew they were guilty and feared being caught. The narrative presented in court was clear. This was not a spontaneous act driven by fear or mental instability, but a calculated, intentional murder. During the sentencing hearing, Todd Morgan's family filled the courtroom. His children sat quietly, holding back tears as victim impact statements were read. His brother spoke first, his voice shaking as he described Todd's dedication to his family and students, and the irreplaceable void his death left behind.
Sean Dingus, D-I-N-G-E-S-S. I'm Todd's brother. I just want you to know how many lives you've affected by this. My brother and children, and they'll never see him again. There's just so many things I'd like to say, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
Todd's ex-wife also spoke, sharing memories of how he remained a loving and involved father even after their separation, and how their children now wake up every morning with a pain no child should endure.
I am Mary, and I share a child with the victim, Dr. Todd Morgan. I stand before you today, not just as a grieving friend, but as a voice for our daughter who will never have the chance to grow up with her father. Dr. Morgan was an exceptional intellectual devoted to his students and colleagues. He recently received an award in 2024 for his significant contributions to research, but tragically he was not alive to accept it. His kindness and inspiration touched everyone around him, and the academic community has now lost a remarkable mentor. Todd was also a loving father. Since his murder, my daughter's life has been irrevocably altered. At just 6 years old, she is at one of the most impressionable stages of her life. She was only 4 when she waited at school for her dad to pick her up, not understanding why he never came. When I arrived, she was confused and desperately wanted to call him, but each call went unanswered. I had to explain to her that her daddy wouldn't be coming back because someone had hurt him. I watched her curl up in my arms, hiding her face as she processed this unimaginable loss. For months following, she would cry out for us whenever we left the room, terrified that we wouldn't return. This fear of abandonment stemmed directly from the sudden absence of her father. She struggled with being alone even for a moment and faced challenges no child should ever have to endure. This trauma is emotional, confusing, and deeply rooted.
When Pascal was asked if she wished to speak, she stood and faced the family. Her words were simple but heavy.
Yes, to his family. I'm very sorry, and I hope that one day that you can find it in your hearts to forgive me. That's it.
Some believed her remorse was genuine, while others saw it as an attempt to soften her sentencing. Regardless, her apology could not undo the brutal reality of what she had done. The judge addressed Pascal firmly, stating that her actions showed a clear disregard for human life and left 2 young children without their father. He handed down a sentence of life in prison with the possibility of parole after 23 years, acknowledging the severity of the crime while following Ohio's sentencing guidelines.
I'm sentencing you to a period of 20 years to life on count 1, aggravated murder and unclassified felony. In addition, that sentence will run consecutive to the 3-year firearm specification, which is attached to that count 1. That firearm specification 3-year sentence must be served first, it must be consecutive, and it is in fact mandatory. This will make you eligible for parole, which there's no guarantee of that, at the earliest at 23 years, but you could serve up to life in prison for this matter. Do you understand all of that, Ms. Paschal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
As the gavel fell, the courtroom remained silent, filled with an invisible heaviness that only such a senseless loss can create. Paschal was led away in handcuffs, her fate sealed by her choices. For Todd's family, the legal process was over, but the lifelong sentence of grief and emptiness was only beginning. News of Todd Morgan's murder spread quickly across Ohio and the academic community. At Cleveland State University, faculty and students mourned his death. Candlelight vigils were held, with hundreds gathering to share memories of the professor who had inspired them with his patience and dedication. His 2 children struggled to adjust to life without their father. For them, each day became a reminder of what was stolen. No more walks to school, no more Sunday breakfasts, no one to guide them through the milestones of life. Friends set up fundraising pages to support their education and care, but no amount of support could replace the love he gave them daily. Paschal's family also expressed shock at her actions, stating they never imagined she was capable of such violence. Mental health experts debated whether underlying psychological factors contributed to her decision to kill a man she had only just met. The murder also raised concerns about the dangers of online dating. Safety experts urged people to exercise caution, vetting new acquaintances thoroughly before meeting in person. Police departments across Ohio released public service announcements reminding citizens to share their meeting locations and details with friends or family, hoping to prevent future tragedies like Todd's. The murder of Dr. Todd Morgan left deep scars not only on his family, but on the entire Cleveland State University community. In the days following the sentencing, the university held multiple memorials in his honor. Colleagues shared stories of his passion for teaching, his kindness, and the unique way he made every student feel seen and valued. His office door, once always open, remained closed with a wreath hanging outside, a somber reminder of the man who once worked within. His children's lives were changed forever.
The impact of this loss lingers in our daily lives. I ask the court to consider the profound effects this crime has had on us. Dr. Todd Morgan was more than a victim. He was a beloved father, friend, and educator. His legacy deserves to be honored, and I hope that justice will be served not only for him, but for his children, who deserve to grow up in a world that remembers their father with love and respect.
Pascal's motives remain partly shrouded in mystery. While the prosecution presented her actions as premeditated murder, questions still lingered about why she chose Todd Morgan, a man she barely knew and who showed no aggression or threat toward her. Some speculated financial motives. Others suspected mental instability, though no formal insanity defense was pursued in court. Ultimately, only she knows the true reason she pulled the trigger that morning. For many, Todd's murder is a chilling reminder of how quickly life can be stolen, how trust can be exploited, and how even the most cautious among us can become victims. His story serves as a warning, but also as a testament to the impact one person can have in their short time on Earth. Today, his legacy lives on through the students he mentored, the colleagues he inspired, and the children he loved with all his heart. His life was defined not by the violence of his death, but by the compassion, knowledge, and care he gave to others. In the end, justice was served in court, but true justice would have been a world where Todd Morgan was still alive, teaching, laughing, and raising his children. A world where his life wasn't cut short by a stranger he barely knew.